Welcome to the ReachX podcast. Today we are with Antonio Pietri, who's the CEO of Aspen Technologies, also popularly known as AspenTech. It's a provider of software and services for process industries and is headquartered in Massachusetts in the United States. It's a NASDAQ-listed multi-billion company, and we're delighted to have Antonio here with us. Now, without much further ado, sir, let me just jump straight on to the first question. For international investors who may or may not be familiar with your brand, give us a flavor of what the company is about and what makes AspenTech, Team AspenTech tick.
Glad to be here. And let me tell you about AspenTech. AspenTech helps the world's leading oil and gas and chemical firms, as well as engineering and construction firms that serve them, and mining, transportation, and CPG companies accelerate digital transformation. And we do that to achieve new levels of operational excellence. As the industrial Internet of Things, or Industry 4.0, began in 2015, we looked for real-world applications for data and emerging technology that we could apply to turn IIoT into insights and really return on investment value. Our customers use our software because we create significant value for them. And we do this by delivering on our asset optimization strategy and really our asset optimization software, which helps them improve the performance across their industrial assets and across their entire life cycle of operations. And that means across their design, operate, and maintain. Digital acceleration is really the path to increase profitability and reliability today. We had our global conference last week in Houston, and we got great feedback about the opportunity to implement these digital technologies in industrial assets. And that means not only refining and chemicals, but also metals and mining, pharmaceuticals, consumer products, goods, manufacturing, and etc. So the market is reacting to our strategy. They're rewarding us. We're seeing a strong performance from the standpoint of our business. And it's because we're helping these firms achieve the lowest possible cost, the highest productivity, while driving growth and ensuring safe and sustainable operations.
Thank you. It's actually a very great time to talk to you. This conversation between us is happening just as you've come out with a great set of financial results back in April. And I think AspenTech's total revenue was just shy of $150 million. You had cross-sector growth across your license, maintenance, and services and other revenue streams. Now, at that time, you told analysts that it was driven by strategic growth initiatives in recent quarters. Could you give our readers a bit of a flavor as to what those strategic initiatives are and how is it looking going forward?
Okay. 2 years ago, and really about 2.5 years ago, we felt that again, there was a big opportunity to extend our solutions into the maintenance space and really looking for ways to improve reliability through the use of machine learning and predictive and prescriptive actionable insights. So we acquired a number of companies and we put together a new offering, which is our asset performance management offering. And this is we've been taking to the market over the last really 2 years. And in those 2 years, we have learned a lot about the market, because the fact is that a new market is being created not only by AspenTech, but other companies as well. And as we're getting traction in the market, really leveraging those relationships that we already had in these industries, we're finding that the technologies that we have a high degree of accuracy in predicting equipment failure, but also in detecting process degradation, looking at an entire system of assets from a reliability standpoint. And this has been one of the major initiatives. At the same time, we continue to spend and invest in our manufacturing and supply chain solutions to create value by pushing these assets and running these assets to the limits of their performance through dynamic optimization and other technologies. And on the engineering side, we continue to invest in order to really help our customers come up with new ways to either create new products, whether it's new types of polymers, new types of molecules in pharma, new types of process technology, especially in a world where there's a lot going on, and these companies, while they see a significant opportunity, there's also significant macro trends that they have to keep an eye on. But the result that we're delivering is the outcome of all this initiative. The market, of course, is very excited about our asset performance management solution, and I believe they're rewarding us for it, but also they have high expectations about it.
Sure. And as it sets up nicely for our next question, which is that, you briefly mentioned IIoT, the Industrial Internet of Things. So if you look at the manufacturing, the engineering, the industrials complex, and some of the biggest companies there are your clients. So in terms of how we look at the industrials landscape versus IIoT, what kind of opportunities does this AspenTech see on the horizon?
Well, we see a big opportunity, and if you look at the industrial space in general, but especially in the process industries, what you find is a space that, like any other industry, is facing digitalization, both as an opportunity and as a risk, because if you are not an early mover in the adoption of technology, you could end up being disrupted. We saw that back in the late 90s and then 2001 with the internet and the IT bubble. While it popped in 2001, what came out of that were new companies and new business models that disrupted many established companies that are no longer around. Similarly, in the process industries, while there's a big opportunity, digitalization also presents a potentially disruptive moment. And it's those companies that embrace it and adopt it early that will manage to leverage it in order to also address what are some major macro trends, such as climate change, plastics recycling, and some of these important environmental and sustainability issues that also challenge their own business model. So I think at the moment, there's a significant opportunity here for these companies to embrace technology in an even bigger way, to find and identify the solutions to these bigger macro challenges that they're facing, and develop new types of technologies, but also perhaps eventually new business models that will allow them to persist through these exciting but also challenging times.
Sure. And just to round up our discussions, you've touched on the macro climate, you've touched on the long-term opportunities that AspenTech sees on the horizon. But just to round up our conversation, we were discussing the next 2 to 3 fiscal years. So just in the immediate future, what can investors expect of you?
Well, look, we'll continue to invest in our asset performance management suite with great focus in that area. We believe this is an important opportunity facing us. We are proving out that our ability to predict equipment failure improves reliability, and according to the National Association of Manufacturers, represents about a $1.4 trillion value opportunity on the total global manufacturing industry. Because of unplanned downtime, that's the value of it. So really targeting reliability through machine learning and predictive capabilities is a big opportunity. So we'll continue to invest in that, and we will also build on the 40 years of value creation in the industry. We see an opportunity to embed artificial intelligence, cognitive capabilities, even natural language processing in our historical products in order to derive greater insights from these processes, but also to democratize the use of these products by lowering the expertise that is required. As you embed AI and these capabilities, you embed the knowledge that is required to use these products in the software, and therefore you're lowering the barriers to use and improving the ease of use. We believe that over the next 5 to 10 years, one of the great breakthroughs will come from leveraging all these new capabilities to derive certainly greater value, but also increase the ease of use of technology, and therefore lower the barrier to use and therefore greater value creation.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. That was Antonio Pietri, who's the CEO of Aspen Technologies, a NASDAQ-listed company. Thank you very much for your time, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope you enjoyed this podcast. For more details, look at www.reachx.co.